Hey fam, welcome to the forest. Trust that you're here for a reason. Okay, you recognize the signal, your body said yes, coherence knows coherence. You could recognize the frequency behind my work, and I'm truly so grateful to have you here. This has been a decade in the making, right? Inside the Forest is the New Earth Rhythm Mystery School, and this is truly only just the beginning. So I want to let you know where to go from here, what to expect, and where I see this all going, right? But the first thing that I need to set the stage with is that God is the composer. Life is the conductor. The entirety of the universe is the symphony. And you are an instrument, you're a part of music, and all of us are just learning how to dance to the rhythmic symphony of God's true creation. That's what I see our awakening as. That's what I see the new earth rhythm as. All of us dancing with God's true symphony. That's the coherence that's been there all along, underneath the distortion, underneath the chaos. We're learning how to tune out of the distortion and tune back into God's true rhythmic symphony that has been there all along, right? So that's how I see the awakening process. It's returning back to God, clearing the soil, rooting down deep, returning to the original state. Like the original state is the play of children that evolves into the creativity and the genius of adults. You are here to alchemize all of your shadows, all of the collective, inherited, personal shadows. Dive so deep, headfirst into them, because that's how you unlock your God-given gifts and your genius in this lifetime. You are here to build what your life has been preparing you for. And then you're here to wield your gifts and genius boldly, courageously, fearlessly, taking divinely inspired creative action in this life, right? And you're so rooted down deep in extreme trust, faith, radical vision, courage, unity, right? Remembrance. You know that we are all one, we're all connected. Everything is everything. Those are your roots in your healthy soil. You're rooting down deep. You're setting a clear signal, right? And you're becoming who you've always been. That's what I mean when I say come into alignment. You're just learning how to, I say, complete the patterns of your personal sacred geometry. That's what happens when you remove blockages in your energy centers, when you release distortion. When you dive headfirst into your shadows, you release those blockages. You're just coming back into a clear signal, your authentic expression with zero blockages. You're cleaning your instrument. Now you're a clean and clear instrument for God to work through you to get more light into the world through your creativity, through your creations, through your projects, through your essence, through the way you interact with everyone, through your family, through your friendship, through your community, then permeates throughout the collective, right? So you're setting the clear signal. You're learning how to stabilize your rhythm. We're tuning out of the distorted, inorganic, man-made, disruptive rhythms, right? And we're tuning back in to organic rhythm, learning how to follow your body's wisdom, your body's intelligence, how to live, work, play, create in harmony with Earth herself, tuning back into Earth's rhythm, letting Earth guide us, learning how to harness the laws of creation itself, right? And then learning how to move and live in harmony with the sun. The sun sets the direction. The stars and the body show you your capacity. The earth integrates over time. The moon is just revealing what is true, right? So we're learning how to live and work and play and create in harmony, stabilizing the rhythm. And then we're becoming conscious co-creators. This is what I mean when I say you're here to build what your life has been preparing you for. You're a conscious co-creator. When you harness the laws of creation, you remain a clear signal, you've got a stable rhythm, and you're allowing God to work through you to get more light and creations into the world, right? So that's what the three pillars of the mystery school are all about. This was the method that I lived. This has been a decade in the making, like I said, My dog Lulu is here snoring, but I don't have the heart to kick her out. So if you hear Frenchie snoring, that's Lulu. She's got great vibes. We like her in here, okay? So when you come into the mystery school, right? Trust that you've arrived into the forest. Trust that you're in the forest now for a reason. The best place to start is just by picking right up with me at our live monthly calls. So I pop on these calls whenever I feel the urge. I'm a 5/1 creative manifester in human design. When I feel the urge to do something or to speak or to share or create something, I always trust that and I just say surrender to the creative wave that is moving through me. If something's moving through me, I hop on and I honor that. So that's when I'll share, right? So I usually have the urge to share around full moons and new moons because the moon is just revealing what is true. It's like a snapshot in time showing you where we're at in the cycle of creation, where we're at energetically, which energetic thresholds are we all crossing over, how to harness the moment in time to become a more empowered builder, recognizing what stage of the process we're all in collectively. That's what the moon is revealing. The moon doesn't impact your energy. The moon doesn't direct your energy once you tune out of the distortion and reclaim your energetic sovereignty and start to follow your inner authority. The moon loses all control over your unconscious shadow patterns. So when I'm doing new moon and full moon moments in time on the live calls, we're not worshiping the moon or anything like that. We are simply just taking a snapshot of the energy in real time. And I'm speaking to that energy in order to really harness it and move us forward in the best possible way as creators, right? So that's what I'm doing at these moments of time, speaking to the energy, taking us through a guided meditation and an activation so that we can harness the moment for our highest and best path forward individually and collectively. So those are always going to be popping in here, okay? That's in the lunar rhythms section on Circle here. And whenever there's like a major energetic threshold, I'll probably pop on and do a live call then too. So you guys are always going to get the Zoom links ahead of time. If you can join me live, that's amazing. Then we have time to connect afterwards and chat. And if you miss it, the replay is always going to be available. So if you're just popping in, that's such an amazing place to start, an amazing thing to look out for and to mark on your calendars is these live activation calls that we can do together because we're all riding this wave together, baby. Okay, trust that you're here for a reason. We're all on this wave as conscious co-creators, right? So that's what the forest is all about with the live calls. The forest is also, this is your guys' place to connect with one another. Pop in the forest. That's like the living room. That's the living room of this entire ecosystem. I want you guys to pop in. Let us know what's your name? Where are you calling in from? We've got people from all over the world in here. So beautiful. We're literally lighting up the entire world. Let us know where you're from. If you want to let us know about your human design, that's cool. Go for it. Let us know who you are, how you're moving through life, and most importantly, let us know what you are building and what you are creating. Then we can start to connect with one another and see how maybe there's opportunities for conscious collaboration. Maybe you have an offering that is exactly what someone needs. So I want you guys to use this as your space to really showcase what you are building. Let us know where you're at in your process of creation, of building, what you need support with, what you need. And go ahead and feel free to light it up. This is our way to interconnect tree to tree, right? We're all part of the same forest. This is how we create the systems and the structures and the collaborations of the new earth. We're rendering the old systems obsolete by connecting with one another. Coherence knows coherence. So I really want you guys to use that as an opportunity to share where you're at. We'll be responding in there. And if I recognize people that I think would be a good match for each other, we'll make those connections as well. Okay, so that's the forest, that's the living room. That's going to be like our most pop and thriving spot, right? And then if you need the method of reclaiming your energetic sovereignty and following your inner compass in life, that's what the mystery school is for with the three pillars: align, embody, create. So this was the lived experience, this is what my experience was like. I had a very dramatic Kundalini awakening on January 3rd, 2018. It's extremely destabilizing to have an awakening. So the process of me learning how to navigate my own Kundalini awakening when I was, how old was I? 25. In 2018, I was like about to turn 25. So everything leading up to that, the 2 years before that, I was in Southeast Asia. I have no doubt looking back that that's what started to really activate my spiritual awakening. I was having a dark night of the soul in New York. I needed to go get the hell out of there. I went to Southeast Asia where it felt like remembrance to me, where I could be around beautiful cultures and beautiful people living and working in harmony with one another and the land and the villages and just how uplifting and genuine every single human was. It was activating the remembrance within me. Then I came back to New York. I was hustling, I was grinding, I was working a crazy ass job, 100% commission based, sales and marketing. I was fundraising on behalf of all of these nonprofits, speaking to 100 people a day, running around New York City like a crazy person, using sheer willpower. I'm an athlete, so I was like replacing lacrosse. My lacrosse career ended when I graduated college, and I was so upset because I had nowhere, all that like sports saved me my whole life, right? So that energy had nowhere to go. So then I put that energy into this crazy job. I used all of my willpower to work at this wild, crazy job. And in doing so, I was really expelling all of my energy. This is a root chakra problem when you really you're constant pressure, you're just constant pressure day after day. As a manifester, I don't have consistent energy. I have cyclical energy. So I'm working against my body, activating my root chakra in the worst way. And I look back and I see how that was also contributing to my Kundalini awakening. So, anyway, Kundalini awakening, super destabilizing. I write all about my story on my website. I don't need to waste time about this now. Okay. I digress. Anyway, the way that I live my life, trying to live in alignment with who I was really born to be, how to stabilize my own rhythm, and then how to be a conscious co-creator, I recognized it as a method, not that I created. I didn't create this method. I just was able to recognize it, weave it, and use the language for it, which became my three pillars: align, embody, create, which took one full creation cycle for that to be born. So last year was 100% living, working, playing, riding my life in harmony with the Celtic wheel, which are the eight thresholds that Earth herself moves through the cycle of creation. So I just did a full send and I said, let me see what wants to be born through me this year. First, it was the Align program. That's a four-part program where you learn how to come into alignment physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually and energetically, right? So that's all about coming into alignment with who you're born to be, and you've got a clear signal now, right? You've accepted yourself. You know thyself, you've accepted thyself in Align. Then the second pillar is embody, which is when you learn how to stabilize your rhythm. So in the Align program, I use human design as a framework and as the language to really give us just the language for you to accept who you are, how your energy operates, what your inherent gifts and genius are, what your destiny is, the trajectory of your life, the vector of your life. That's what human design is like, all about owning your identity in Align. But then in Embody, now I use human design to give us the language to describe your unique internal rhythm. Everyone has their own rhythm, right? I said as a manifestor, I have a cyclical rhythm. I don't have a consistent rhythm. So it's just giving us the language to identify your rhythm. Most importantly, though, it gives us the language to identify your inner compass, which is your inner authority, so that you stop outsourcing your power and looking externally to figure out what to do in your own life. So you don't have to ever ask anyone again for advice about how to make moves in your own life. Big life decisions, right? Small decisions. You completely stop outsourcing your power when you learn how to stabilize your rhythm, follow your body's cues, your body, the inner authority in human design, it's always your body. It's something, it's some energy center in within you that is speaking to you like non-verbally, right? It's like guiding you through life. Your body's lit up like this. Your body, you got that initial hit like that. You got that gut instinct. I'm just utilizing human design as the language to identify how your body is communicating with you, how your higher self is communicating with you, how God is moving through you so that you know how to make decisions in your own life, how to make moves in your own life. You never outsource your power again. You'll notice like not I'm not telling you guys how to live your best life. I'm not telling you guys how to navigate um the process of creation. The three pillars are you recognizing that you have all of the answers within and that it's all learning how to trust and follow your body's wisdom and the wave that is God moving through you. So got a clear signal, you've stabilized your rhythm, and then the create pillar is a two-part build lab where we identify your tree. Okay. So sorry, this is getting kind of long, but appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. I want to make sure you know exactly how to best utilize this space. All right, so in the build lab, like I said, your awakening was like getting clean soil. Your roots are now you are anchored and rooted deeply into God, source, into Mother Earth, right? Into the light, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, guiding you, the sun and the earth, God, source, rooted in firmly. No one and nothing can ever sway you, knock you off course. You're rooted in, that's your personal philosophy, your personal faith are your healthy roots. Then your trunk starts to grow and fortify and stabilize. And this is like your core work. This is your core work. Like I said, your lives have been preparing you to build. Like we're here to build what our lives have been preparing us for. That's your trunk, right? Because God wants you to be rich. I'm telling y'all, whatever it is you have an urge to create, it is meant to be the source of your abundance and your prosperity in this lifetime. If Align was all about accepting yourself, Embodies about learning how to make moves, um, then from embody to create, it's all about learning how to make money with and for your gifts. Okay. So first you have to accept your gifts and you have to accept yourself. And now the very process of you learning how to make money with and for your gifts is not only helping you self-actualize, but it's helping you fortify and grow your tree. We are all trees. So, you've got your stable trunk, and then from there, all of your branches are like your offers, your services, your products, your podcast, your social media, your Oracle decks, like whatever, right? So, whatever it is that you're building and working and creating, those are all of your branches that go out into the world. All of your products are like leaves going out into the world. New Earth collaboration is when your branches naturally start touching someone else's branches, and that's a very natural collaboration. So you're going to collaborate that way. You're never collapsing into anyone else's tree. You're never merging roots with anyone. You've always got your philosophy. You've always got your fortified stability, and then your branches go off and merge and connect. That's New Earth collaboration, 100% in sovereignty, 100% in coherence, nothing forced, everything natural. And you will find that as you are in coherence and you are committed to your tree, which becomes your ecosystem, you're here to build your ecosystem. You're going to have these natural collaborations because we all start to attract each other like magnets at that point. When you're aligned, you've got a clear signal, you've stabilized your rhythm, and you're consciously co-creating. All of a sudden you open the floodgates of light and energy circulating through you and for you. It's like strengthening your torus field. Once you've got your strong tree, it's like this torus field where you're sending the energy out and it's coming your way, and the only thing you can see are those living and working towards the betterment of humanity and Earth herself. You're completely tuned out of distortion. This is what I mean by New Earth rhythm. This is what my entire ecosystem, New Earth rhythm is. We're not focusing on tearing down the old systems. We're not focusing on, all of our energy is not going towards condemning the old systems. Like, we got it. We know that already, right? All of your energy is going towards creating a beautiful ecosystem because whatever it is that you have the urge to create, whatever it is that you are building, it is for the betterment of humanity and Earth herself because that's how we're divinely designed. All right. So, trust that whatever it is you're building, creating, and then the next thing that comes up for you and the next thing that's moving through you, it's all uplifting yourself, uplifting your family, uplifting your friends, your community, which spreads into the wider collective. This is the New Earth rhythm. This is New Earth collaboration. We're all our own ecosystems and all of our branches merge and touch, and we are all a part of the forest, y'all. Okay, so this is why I really want you guys to share who you are and what you're building and where you're headed. We'll see how those branches naturally merge. I want you guys to see what I mean by the forest. This is how we can have true New Earth collaboration and uplift ourselves and pave the way, create the culture that we want our children to be a part of. That's my why. I'm a mom. Eris right now is 2.5 years old. I want her, we are every single day creating the life, the culture, the community that I want her to be a part of. Okay, so welcome to the forest. Thank you guys for being here and for trusting me. Took me a while to like own and accept who I was and what my true gifts were as a 5/1 creative manifester. To be a manifester, is to initiate others into the frequency of transformation and creation. So I see my work in the first two pillars of align and embody. That's initiating you into the transformation. And then as we go into create, and then you move into the forest, and you're now a coherent, conscious co-creator, you're a founder, you're an entrepreneur, you are working on projects towards the betterment of humanity and Earth herself. Now that is the second part of what I do, which is initiating you into the frequency of pure creation. So at this stage in my life now, I am only working with founders, coherent founders who are growing their ecosystems. And I'm a coherent architect. I can see them for who they truly are because I utilize frameworks like human design. I synthesize both tropical and sidereal human design to create your leadership architecture. So I could see who you really are and how you really operate and where this is all going. And then I could see your entire ecosystem of what you're building. And I hold that vision for you as the true north. And I always keep that container of where you're headed so that as these founders are going about living life and coming into challenge or, just riding the ups and downs of life, they never stray off track. They never lose momentum because I'm always there holding true north for them. And I'm also a strategic advisor because I have my background in sales, marketing. Then I became business development manager. I was negotiating high level contracts, like $500,000 contracts. Um, I thought that for a while when I had then in 2021, I was like, I'm fully committing to my life path, to my life purpose. I quit my corporate career, been an entrepreneur like solo ever since then. Um, it took me until very recently to realize that, oh, it all comes right back around. Like I never had to abandon who I was and what my natural gifts were before that. I'm very naturally gifted at sales, marketing, and business development. I never had to abandon that and then go this one way. All of it was pivotal to the path, and it all comes back around, and all parts of self merge as one. This is true integration, true equilibrium, conscious co-creator, feeling like who I was before I had the Kundalini awakening, but just now at a higher octave. Like I told my husband, I feel like I am who I was in college because I had my awakening and then it was so destabilizing and then it was survival mode and shit went down. Shit was so crazy and life got so serious, right? And then as I went through the method of align, embody, create, come back around, integrate and merge all parts of self, I feel like I am who I've always been now, but at a completely new octave. Okay, so trust that whatever was happening in your life before you had your awakening or the skills that you had earlier when you were like in the distortion in corporate America, like whatever, right? You don't abandon that to then follow like a spiritual path, right? It's not even about that. You always will come back around and integrate all parts of self and see that everything had to unfold that way. Everything merges together as one. And that is your truest expression. There is no more compartmentalization of self, zero personas. It's 100% authenticity. And you are a clear signal, and you know that the path will continue to reveal itself as you take those leaps before you're ready. Okay, so we get into it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Action steps at the end of this video. Please write in the forest in the living room. Let us know who you are, what you're working on. Drop links to your website if you want. Let us know your projects and your offers, and we'll make those connections and see who where the branches naturally touch. And then you feel in for yourself. Do you want to start with the align pillar? Do you want to start straight with the embody pillar? Do you want to start with the create pillar? If you're not sure, start at the beginning and work your way through. Or just join us for the monthly calls to start. And then when you get the urge and the feeling, pop in and just check out any of those pillars at any time. The New Earth Rhythm Mystery School is always available to you. There's also video activations in there. We've got video activations for each chakra. We've got video activations for listening to your higher mind, for clearing out old loops. It's juicy, y'all. I've got my guidebooks in there. Like, there's everything in here. There's over $2,000 worth of juicy goods for you guys to dive into when you feel the urge. Listen to whatever your body is guiding you to. Know that it's always there for you. That's why this is a monthly living, breathing ecosystem, because there's absolutely no rush. There's no pressure. There's no hierarchy. Okay, we're all a part of this beautiful forest. We're all here for each other. We're all here to make this world a better place. I love you guys so much. Reach out to me, introduce yourself. I'll try to reach out to each and every one of you. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. That is all. Peace out.